Good afternoon and welcome back to Console Crapshoot, where we spin a wheel to play a random video game on original hardware. Hope everyone's having a lovely spring. I know me and Carl are, but we do not like excessive heat, so not looking forward to the summer. That's what video games and AC were invented for, though. Oh nice, we're going to play the Wii U today. The Wii U is a very new addition to the wheel that we have not played yet. And while I've messed with it here and there, this is actually the first time that I'm sitting down to properly play a Wii U game. And Carl picked the longest Wii U game that exists. Xenoblade Chronicles X is notoriously one of the longest Japanese RPGs ever made. But let's get into it. I mean, this is actually pretty topical because they just re-released this game on the Switch, like a month or two ago at the time of spinning this game. It's Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, and the game definitely looks prettier, as you can see on the Switch. Even on the Wii U, this game is gorgeous. I'm actually really surprised. It's a prettier game than I was expecting. First, I should say this is part of the Xeno universe, so there's a series of RPGs. There's, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who's listening, this is off the top of my head, but Xenogears and Xenosaga, and then Xenoblade. I've never played them. I like me a good JRPG. I mostly dip into Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Square stuff. I know that's like the entry-level stuff, as good as those games are, and there's so much more. There's so many more JRPGs to delve into that I have not. It opens with aliens basically attacking Earth and destroying Earth, and all of these ships, they're basically these big spaceship cities that take humans off away from the planet. This one, actually, you get caught, the aliens catch up to you and destroy your ship, but you land on this planet, Mira, which is a beautiful, amazing planet. The mountains are kind of like Colorado mountains, but it's all surrounded by ocean and Avatar sci-fi looking stuff, make it feel alien. But the game is establishing a city, a new colony on this planet, and exploring. Exploration is probably the main, like the biggest function of this game. There were sequels to this game, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. They're more individual story based. This one is less about your character that you make. By the way, you make your own character from scratch and be kind of whatever kind of character you want. That's less important. The story is more the story of you landing on this planet as a society. It's less about your specific character. And I think the reason I never delved into these games and why a lot of people didn't is just because it's kind of intimidating. They're notoriously like tutorial the game. Like there's so many battle systems. There's so much to learn. I'm not saying it's not worth learning. It's an amazing game, and learning all those systems is going to be rewarding. But you're essentially building this settlement. It goes as far as your character, you can earn money and then you invest in actual companies that are in the game. It gets that crazy. Like there's so many little mini game systems to learn. Combat alone is a lot, but it's more than just that. There's a whole city of people. There's hundreds of side quests. There's so much to do. The exploring, like I said, which is the main focus, is there's so much exploring to do. Some people have referred to this game when they talk about this game as the best open world map in all of gaming, and I get that. It's gorgeous. It's definitely not the biggest. It's about 154 plus square miles of land to actually traverse, 400 square miles if you count the oceans. But I played like 12 hours so far at the time of recording this game, and I haven't even gotten to the part where you get your skeleton it means, but they're basically giant towering mech suit robots that they call skells. Flying those things across the entire planet. No loading screens. There is a lot of pop-in on the Wii U, at least that version, but very impressive for at least what I thought of the Wii U. At first, I went for the Wii U Pro Controller, which I have here. It's real weird because you got the two analog sticks up top, and it's kind of strange. But they did that because that works for the tablet. But I did switch to the tablet at some point because the functionality on it's pretty cool, like fast travel, map stuff. You have to basically prospect this planet. You have to put down probes and stuff. And the Wii U tablet kind of helps with that. Also, this game suffers from, I call it the RPG uglies. A lot of games are like this, where your character has a cool look to start, and then you want to get better gear. So you get all this better gear. You end up with these people who have like an Iron Man suit and they're wearing shorts. But the reward for having the best gear is worth it. I did read actually that you can add the stats from the ugly gear to the gear that you like the way it looks, but it's just so complicated. I didn't bother doing that. I figured, I'm just going to play with the ugly gear until later in the game where you start looking cool. That's usually how these things work, but this game, for the record, you don't have to do that. But I'd say that the size of this game and the sheer scope of this game are its biggest strength, but also I just don't have the time. Like, I want to get this episode out, right? For me to properly play this game, it's going to take me at least another 2 months. Not for nothing, but I'm playing God of War Ragnarok. I want to start Expedition 33, and I don't want to spend 2-3 months just playing a game just for this 6-minute episode on TikTok. I have no doubt that this game, this story, is super rewarding, and all the videos and articles that I read really lend to that. I suspect that even if you do the bare minimum and cut through this game, it's excellent. You're going to love the story, you're going to get a lot out of it, but my understanding is that you stop and take your time and take months to play it, find all the hidden content that it has to offer, and I could have faked my way, through like footage from trailers and, read a bunch of articles and parrot stuff, but I like to be real with my reviews, so even giving this a rating is going to be weird. But let's try. What did we think of Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U? First of all, I recommend getting this. I recommend, everyone's got a Switch. Everyone's got a Switch. Not a lot of people have a Wii U. I doubt there's someone listening to this that has a Wii U and goes, I haven't pulled the trigger on the Switch yet. Haven't made up my mind. So I recommend getting the definitive edition that just came out if you have the time to put into it. I really do. I have watched a ton of YouTube videos about this game, and the sense of beauty and depth and everything that it has to offer really make me want to play this game in full. The reality is I probably won't, and that's a damn shame. I can't give something a 5 out of 5 if I haven't really played the hell out of it. I probably experienced 5 to 10% of what the game has to offer. So how could I say it's a 5 out of 5? Then again, how can I rate it at all? How can I give it a ranking that isn't fair to it? So, I'll just say for the purposes of this show and what I know of the game, I'm going to say that this game is a high 4 out of 5. And it's unfair that I won't get to play it. Maybe that rating wouldn't change if I played the whole thing. And maybe it would end up being a 5 out of 5. But I got to put it somewhere. I really do think it's amazing. But the overall takeaway is that it sucks to get older. How do you guys that listen to this, how do you make time for games? And some of you have kids. How do you do it? I just have 2 dopey dogs and a full-time job. I don't get how you guys do it. Please let me know in the comments. I simply must know. But that's it for this week. That was really, really cool. I'm sad that I'm not playing this full game. I think I've expressed that. But we got to make more episodes. We got a lot of games to play. But if enough people yell at me, maybe I will make time to finish this. That said, looking forward to seeing what we're going to play next time. I hope you will join us, and see you then.